The New York Giants just made a pretty questionable move. We're going to talk about that on today's show, but first, make sure you are subscribed to New York Giants Now by Chat Sports. When the Giants make a move, we make a video, and we're almost at our goal of 81.5 thousand subscribers. So if you love the Giants and you want free videos every day, join the channel right now. This is New York Giants Now by Chat Sports, and I am your host, Marshall Green. Let's dive into it. The Giants have restructured left tackle Andrew Thomas's contract, clearing up $12.2 million in salary cap space. This was a move that some would say is needed, and what I would say is needed is the Giants had to become salary cap compliant prior to week one, because before the restructuring of Andrew Thomas's deal, they were $9.6 million in the red. They were $9.6 million over the cap. So they had to make a move. Now, did it need to be the Andrew Thomas move? We're going to break that down. Let's start with this, because a lot of people are going to say, Marsh, what does a restructure mean? It essentially means they are turning his base salary into a signing bonus for the player. The player doesn't have to agree to a restructured deal. They literally just click a button and it moves around some money. You take some money that is owed this year and you spread it out over the lifetime of the deal. It doesn't really affect the way that Thomas is going to be paid. What it does is it adds $3 million to Thomas's cap hit for the next 4 seasons. Now looking like this, he is owed $24.2 million, has a cap hit of $24.2 million, then so on and so forth for his deal. So you might be asking, Marshall, why is this a questionable deal? Because of this. The New York Giants are dealing with a player in Thomas who is injury prone or has been unable to stay healthy. I don't think it's fair to say injury prone. He's unable to stay healthy. And before the restructure, the New York Giants could have got out of the deal of Thomas after the 2026 season going into the 2027 season pretty easily. They could have cut him, and they would have just a dead cap hit of $4.7 million. If they made him a post-June 1 cut, they would have had a dead cap hit of just $3.8 million. Now, that is no longer the case. If they do cut him prior to the 2027 season, they have a dead cap hit of $13.8 million. And I'm not saying the New York Giants are going to be looking to cut Andrew Thomas, as this is just his first year of a new 5-year contract, but for a player that has consistently missed game after season after season, you would like to have the option to where, let's say Andrew Thomas, knock on wood, has another injury this year or re-injures that foot, and it is a long-term injury. You would like to get out of that contract essentially free, and now you won't be able to do so. So you're sacrificing long-term decisions to help yourself be salary cap compliant this year. And I get it, you have to be. But there were other moves the New York Giants could have made. And for a player that hasn't played more than 16 games or played an entire season since 2020, I don't like the idea that a guy that may not play week 1 is essentially going to be on this roster for a hefty salary for the next 2 years, even though it's unsure if he will be healthy. Look, he's one of the most important players in the league, especially on the Giants. Over the last 2 years, the Giants are 6-10 with Andrew Thomas. Not great, I get it, but when you compare it to the record of 3-15 when he's not on the football field over the last 2 years, it makes this number look a heck of a lot better. And over the last 3 seasons, the Giants have been allergic to scoring points without Andrew Thomas, averaging just 12.3 points per game. And with him, they are averaging just or almost 19.5 points per game. Still not great, but a major change and really showing how important he is. And I hope he's on this team long term, but I hope he's healthy. That's most important because he's a damn good football player. Since 2021, he has the 6th best PFF grade amongst left tackles of 90.1, according to PFF. We know he's a damn good football player. When he's out there, he's one of the best in the business. But sometimes the best ability is availability. And Thomas hasn't really been all that available. And as I'm seeing now, he did not practice today. I don't know if he's going to play on Sunday. BrIan Daboll said that's part of the plan. We'll see where he's at tomorrow. So now we're heading into week 1 where he may not even be ready to play. I don't know. I don't love it. I just want to see the guy healthy because when he's healthy, this team is better. So if you're with me and you want to see number 78 out there healthy and protecting the blind side of the Giants quarterbacks, go down right now and hit that thumbs up icon. We got a lot more to discuss on today's show, but I want to welcome back the HOF app as a sponsor here on New York Giants Now, an app where it will help you make smarter bets. And they have an awesome deal for the real ones. A 7-day free trial plus 50% off the first month when you use the promo code CHAT. I'll put all that information in the comments and the description of today's show. You can use the HOF app to help you bet smarter for the Giants and their season win total or week-to-week games. Have you ever been one leg away from hitting a massive parlay, but it got ruined by an unlucky buzzer beater, maybe an unexpected strikeout, or Devin Williams cost the New York Yankees another game? We've all been there. I don't know about you, but I'm tired of throwing money on parlays that I have a good gut feeling about. That's where the HOF app has completely changed the game. The app was founded by huge sports fans who just happened to be a bunch of giant data nerds that graduated from Ivy League schools. The HOF app is going to give you a leg up on Vegas by using historical data, matchup grades, trends, and player performances. I've won multiple parlays recently, which included the TCU Horned Frogs beating Bill Belichick and the UNC Tar Heels. With a 4.9 rating in the App Store and over 7,000 reviews, it's safe to say the Hall of Fame app has already helped a lot of people bet smarter. And for a limited time, Giants Now Real Ones not only are going to get a 7-day free trial, but they are also going to get 50% off their first month when they use code CHAT at checkout. So just download the app on iOS or Android, enter code CHAT, and you are all set. All righty, following the Thomas restructure, the Giants now have $2.5 million in cap space. So they are salary cap compliant. They are in the green, but there is another move that is going to need to come. $2.5 million is not enough money to get you through the season. If you're going to want to elevate people from the practice squad, you're going to want to sign people, things of that nature, you're going to need to create more salary cap dollars. And the way you can do that is by restructuring other players on this team. If you restructure Dexter Lawrence, you can save up to $9.8 million. If you want to restructure Brian Burns, that's another $4.1 million. Bobby Okereke, $3.9, and Jon Runyan, $4.0. I would assume that these two moves are not going to be moves that the New York Giants make because I'm not so sure that both these players are going to be on the Giants roster next season. Joe Schoen has repeatedly talked about how he likes to have a cushion of $10 million heading into an NFL season for all of the different moves that could potentially come. So there's going to be another move to come, maybe moves, as the Giants want to have some of that cushion salary cap space to make moves. Dan Duggan saying this, someone asking, is this move purely to create cap space or is there another signing coming? Duggan says purely to create space. Over the cap had them at $9.6 million in the red before this move. This gets them a little under the cap, which need to be done by today and gives them a little breathing room for practice squad elevations, IR additions, etc. I doubt they make it through the season without another restructure at some point. I would lean most likely towards a Dexter Lawrence extension. That you press that one button and you save $9.5 million on an extension. So that's the one I would expect. Maybe it's a Brian Burns extension as well, restructure rather, but I don't think it'll be Bobby Okereke, as I don't know if he's going to be on this team next year. And same thing with Jon Runyan. Let's close today's show as the New York Giants have sold a 10% stake of the organization. Julia Koch and the Koch family are buying a 10% stake in the New York Giants. The Giants posted this sale and back in February, and it is officially done at this point. Eli Manning and Michael Strahan were both part of groups that were trying to buy that 10% stake. Who is the Koch family? ESPN saying this, Julia Koch, the widow of David Koch, who died in 2019, has a net worth of $81.2 billion, according to Forbes. She and her family last year bought 15% of BSE Global, the company that owns the Brooklyn Nets and the New York Liberty. So the Giants are getting an infusion of cash, an evaluation of $10 billion. I think that's a record for an NFL team. And hopefully this means a new stadium. Hopefully this means new locker rooms. Hopefully this means the New York Giants stop living in 1970 and they can get with the times and modernize the things around this organization. If you were wondering where you could get this t-shirt, I want to give a major shout out to my guys over at Dark Horse. You can go to darkhorsenewyorkcity.com. They hooked me up with one of their shirts from their brand new sexy Dexter Lawrence line. They've got all sorts of stuff. They've got hoodies, they got black t-shirts, they got off-white t-shirts, and they hooked me up with this one. These ones, they go on sale this Saturday. So go to darkhorsenewyorkcity.com and support them, as they are real ones as well. Major shout out to you. Appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all are following me on social media as well. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Instagram at @MarshallGreen_.